Hello students, today we are going to see the topic overloading constructor with array of class object. So let's see how we will do it. A program in which our class name is college, we have data members code, place, name, and in constructor we are total using 3 constructor in this program. And as we know that if we have more than one constructor in a same class, that means all will have same name, as we know that constructor has same name as the class name, so all the constructors going to have same name. And when there is more than one, then it is only known as constructor overloading. But today we are going to listen today a new concept we are going to know, that is how we will use array with class object while using constructor overloading. Okay, so now we have 3 constructor. One is default constructor, in which we are initializing our data members with some default values. Like code we have initialized with 0, name we have given nil, place is nil. Okay, no values into it. So we are taking this default constructor so that all the things could be initialized with some values. Okay, and next is our constructor, which is parameterized constructor. A constructor without any parameter is our default constructor, and constructor with parameters is parameterized constructor. We already know this concept. And for clear to clear your concepts, you can go to the previous video lectures, which I will be sharing the links in the description. So go through the topic constructor overloading, so it will be clear to you, and also go through a topic, that is we have seen array with class object. So both these two topics you can just see once, and then it will be more clear to understand this topic, because it is the combination of both. Okay, so here we are seeing one constructor default. This is parameterized constructor. We have 3 parameters, that is for code, place, and name. As we know that we have 3 data members here in the program, so we are going to initialize those data members. So we have taken here 3 parameters for taking the values for those. Okay, so simply, as we have previously also done this, that we will receive the values here and then we will pass it to the data members. C code, here whatever the values will come, it will be passed to code. Same way C name, whatever the values we will get, we'll pass it to name, and same way C place will be passed to place. So values will be initialized here to the data members. Okay, so this is closed here. This is our second constructor, which is parameterized. And one more constructor we are using in this program, so which is having 2 parameters, and here we are using same parameter, but name is also same, but the number of parameters are different. Okay, first one is default, but these 2 parameterized constructor have same, we have taken same names. You can see code and C place, C code and C place, and C name is not here, so the number of parameters are different. So these are can be differentiated by seeing the numbers. Okay, so we have 2 different, and same thing we are doing with code and place, and we don't have name here, so we will initialize these 2 only. So in this program we have 3 constructor, and here we have closed this constructor, and finally we have closed our class. And we have one member function, that is display. This is prototype of that member function, and we have defined this function outside the class. Here class is closed, so outside the class what we gonna write, we have to write the return type, then class name, and then after scope resolution operator we have to write the function name. So display is our function name, and now inside this function we are going to display all the contents, all the data members in one single member function. Earlier in one program we have seen we have taken two different function to display two different constructors value, but here because we have all the names of C code and C name, they have similar names, so we have just taken one function in which we have displayed the value for code, place, name. So we have used cout and cprintf to print. Okay, so whatever we will take in cout, if variable then value will be printed, if constant then that particular inside the double quotation whatever will be written will be printed. Okay, so identify the variables and constant, how you double quotation inside whatever is constant, and without double quotation is variable. So for variable values will be printed. All right, and we have used text color, and for text color if you want to be printed things in colored form, so you need to write cprintf, otherwise you can use cout. Okay, so this is all the things constructor and our member function is defined, and this function is also closed here. And now in sequence we will call these all thing. Let's come into the main function. Always remember, I keep on repeating this word, that execution of program will start from main. So whatever the output we want to get from the program, we have to come first to the main function. So accordingly we will do the place it in the main function, which line we want first, like that. Okay, to be printed in the output. So clear screen, first of all it will clear the output screen. Then here we have taken one variable, that is I, for loop. Okay, for loop we have done earlier how it works. We will see how we are using it now here. Now just see carefully that here is one variable I which we will use in loop, and after that we are creating object, and that too with array. Okay, so this is our, to create object what we need to write first, the class name. So our class name for this program is college, and after that we have written object. Okay, obj is our object. Now after that we have used this. Okay, so inside this bracket whatever we will write will be our array size. So we have taken array size as 3. It means we have created 3 objects. By writing in array form we are getting at a time by writing this 3 object. So what will be the name of these 3 objects? obj with index 0, obj 1 and obj 2. All right, so we are getting 3 object created here through this line. And now as we know that our constructor is automatically called when we create object of that class. So now we have created object, and in program we have 3 constructor, so 3 constructor will be called. And in previous topic while studying parameterized constructor and constructor overloading, we have seen that how it will be differentiated if the number of parameters should match. So accordingly that constructor will be called. But now here because we have used array, we have created at once 3 object. So now to initialize that, or to clear the parameters, number of parameters, what we are going to do, we will initialize these objects, the values at a time. In this format, we are initializing all the objects at one go. See what we have to do for that. We will use first this assignment operator, and then this curly braces, and after that inside the pair of curly braces, this here we have opened the curly braces and we have closed it here, and then a semicolon, and inside this we have taken values for all 3 constructor. See how first one is college. Okay, so we were having one default constructor with no parameter. Okay, so this will be called first, and then next one is college, and 2 parameters are there. First one is in int form and second one is name. So the constructor with integer and then place will be called, and then with 3 parameters, with 3, first one should be int in number form, and then the next 2 will be in word or string form, character form. Okay, so this is how we have written at a time values for all the 3 constructor inside the pair of parenthesis, inside this curly braces, and then closed it with a semicolon. Now in a sequence, what will happen? First we will go to the constructor name college. Here it is, and in college what things will happen? Obj with index 0 will contain value for code is 0, and for name it will initialize nil, and for place again nil. Okay, and this is closed. So in index obj0 for code, name and place, these values are stored. Great, understood. And after that we have written constructor with two values. So now college 1 2 3 number and Doranda. So we will go to constructor college with 2 parameter. Here it is college with 2 parameters. First one should be number, so yes, it is mentioned here int, and second should be character, so it's character, and place. So in C code 1 2 3 will be passed, and in C place Doranda will be passed. And in next line inside the constructor, what will happen? Because C code has 1 2 3 now, so that will be moved to code, and same way C place is having Doranda, so that place name will be moved to place. Okay, and now finally what is happening here, we have again initialized, so we have called another constructor. So this values will be stored in another object. That was second one will be, because it is array, so first one was obj0, so this one is obj1. Now these values are in obj1 code and place obj1 place. Okay, so this is how every values are kept under different memory location. Okay, because we are using array. Now the third one was college with values parameters 100, Ranchi, and then Nisha. Okay, so what will happen? We will go to the constructor name college with 3 parameters. So where is these 3 parameters? Let's search in the program. So here it is college. So first is int and the next two is char, so it's matched. Now we will pass the value. So C code will now contain 100, C place will contain Ranchi, and C name will receive Nisha. Okay, so values are passed, and now same values will be passed to the data members. So code will have 100, name will have C name value will be copied to name, that is Nisha, and then C place will be copied to place, that is Ranchi. So data members, these data members will also be initialized. And now this was the third constructor, so this will be saved in obj3. So now this set of datas will be stored in obj3 code, obj3 name, obj3 place, and this is closed here. So we will move back to the main function, and this line is now executed. All of the three statements, three constructors are executed. It is closed here with a semicolon. This is how we will use our constructor overloading with array of class objects. So this is what we are reading today, and we have to understand. Okay, now this line has initialized values. Okay, now we are going to see that whatever the values are initialized, we will see. While for this we are going to use display function. So here, because we are using array, so instead of writing obj0 dot display, obj1 dot display, obj2 dot display, we have directly written here for loop which should go from 0 to 2. That means I value will go from 0 to 2, and then it will be false, as we know the loop work of loop, how it works. Okay, so first I value is 0, we will check I is 0 is less than 2, that is true. So I plus plus, and then we will move to, because the value is true here, so we will come to the body of loop, and here obj I is a variable here, so I currently has value 0. So this 0, what value was there? obj0. Okay, so currently whatever the values was in 0, remember in constructor, first constructor, that is college, this one, whatever the values were initialized, that will be displayed. Okay, so we will go to display function. Here dot display is there, obj0 dot display. So display function is called. We will go to display function, and then inside display function, what will be printed? Everything will be printed in yellow color, because of this text color is set yellow here. So C printf we are writing, that means whatever will we write, that will be printed in yellow, that is code will be printed in yellow. Then we will move to next line, C out. C out means whatever things will write will be printed. So C code. So for college, what values was there? For code we have taken as 0. Okay, so because we have called it through obj0, this code name and place is saved in obj0. So 0 and name is having nil and place is having nil. So what will be printed? For code 0, place, for place, and will move to next line, place will be printed nil, and name will be also printed nil, and this is closed. Now this function is closed, so we will move to next line in the main function. So in next line we have end else, so we will move to next line, and this is closed here. And for loop, unless the condition is false, we can't come out of it. So we will again move to this, and now because of increment operator, value of I is 1 and it is less than 2, yes it is true, so again increment it and we will go to our value I. Now the value of I is 1, so obj1 dot display, again function is called, so we will go to display function, and then in display function what will happen, in display function we will again print same things, that is code, and then in place of code, this code, what will be printed, because we have called now obj1 dot display, so whatever the values was stored in obj1 for name, code and place, that will be printed. So for obj1 what values were there, 1 2 3 and Duranda, and for name that was nothing, there were nothing, so that place is blank. So we'll see while running what will happen. Okay, so it is supposed to print code, for code it will print 1 2 3, and for place it will print Duranda, and for name it will print some garbage value. Why? Because here in name nothing is initialized, so it will print some values. Okay, we will see while running it. Now again it is closed, we will come back here and we will go to next line. So cout handle, it will change to move to next line, and we will, it is closed here, but for loop is not, this condition is not false yet. So again we will come to I, because we have used postfix increment, so now I value is 2. Okay, last value was 1, now it is 2, and 2 is less than 2, no, but 2 is equal to 2, so it is true. Now again it is true, incremented, and then we will come to this section again. So obj2 dot display, using obj2 dot display, again we will call display function, but now the values for code, place and name will be taken for 100, Ranchi and Nisha, because it was stored in obj2. So now code will print code 100, then place, for place will print Ranchi, and then for name Nisha. Okay, and now what we will do, we will go again back to the same display, next is executed, now next line handle, and it is closed. Again we will move here. Now I value is 3. 3 is less than 2, no. 3 is equal to 2, no. So both of these are false, so the condition is false now. So we'll come out of this loop, and for coming, and when we are coming out of this loop, next line is get ch. So now it is end of program, closed here. Okay, so this was execution for these all codings. Now let's see, compile it, success, and now run it. So see, first we have called our default constructor, okay, and the values for obj0. So what is printed? 0 nil nil, the values which was in default constructor. And after that we were having our second was constructor with 2 parameters. So for code and place values is printed, but for name nothing is there. And again for our parameters, for 3 parameters, constructor with 3 parameters, 100, Ranchi and Nisha is printed. And in for loop we have taken endl after display, that's why after printing code, place, name, there is one space or line is blank. Okay, so because we have used endl with after display. Okay, so this is what the concept of overloading constructor with array of class object. Okay, so here we can see this was the concept. This is our class object, and this is our, in this line only, our constructor is called with overloading. Okay, because more than one constructor was there. So great, this is our program for today. Now what you will do, you have to make a program in which you will pass the values for, I have taken here code, place and name. So you can take it for student. Okay, so take it as roll number and name of college and your place. Okay, take the class name as student and do it. Okay, this is the output of the previous program which I have given you, and you all have shared these outputs. So great to see your work, and good, you all are doing great job. Just keep it on and keep coming with new way of new ideas for the output and creative way. Okay, great. So God bless you all and take care. Thank you.